Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Paperbacks and Lattes. I am Paige and today I'm going to do the makeup and book tag. So this is the makeup and book tag. I have seen it done several times and I decided to do it because I've been trying to find a way to incorporate me doing my makeup in one of my videos. I thought about doing a vlog, but I thought about this tag. So I'm like, well, that is the perfect way to do it. One of you guys, now it slips my mind, had suggested for me to do my makeup in one of my videos. And that was so nice of you to say that because to me, I am still learning to do my makeup. I am not a professional and by any means. Plus I have odd eyes anyway, and so it has really taken a lot of trial and error to even become, you know, what I do today. I have extremely hooded eyes and it makes putting on makeup very difficult. So anyway, and one eye droops lower than the other, so trying to get them to match up is a nightmare. But I'm like, well, you know, I know you guys can probably put makeup on better than me, but I still thought this would be a really good opportunity to do this tag. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I apply is not even on this tag, but I have to do it because I have extremely dry skin, and I just put on like this, it's an oil-free facial moisturizer. I have to put it on underneath my makeup or it tends to flake because my skin is extremely dry. And you will see, I do not put on makeup correctly all the time. And I really tend to stick with a more simpler look. Well, except for my eyeshadow. I don't really do contouring. I'm very fair, and contouring scares me because I'm like, any type of dark makeup on me really stands out. So I've dipped my toe a little bit into it, but it honestly scares me, so I don't really do it that much. The questions in this tag are kind of out of order than I'd put on makeup, so I'm just gonna tell them in the order that I put makeup on. So the first one is foundation, and it says to pick what is your favorite first book in a series. And my favorite first book in a series is a Groupie by Stunich. This is I'm putting on a foundation. This is a reverse harem series. And I'm pretty sure it was the first book I had ever read by Stunich. I am out of my little sponge things. So I just put those. I keep forgetting to get any. So this is like very incorrectly put on. I understand this, but I don't have a foundation brush. So I have to pick whenever I get a foundation or any type of color to match my skin. I have to go with the fairest that they have. And the foundation that I use, I do not have a favorite foundation. I have yet to find one that I absolutely love. So if you have dry skin, let me know what foundation you use, because I still have not found a foundation that I like. So I just buy a different one each time, trying to find one that I am going to like. So I do have my makeup mirror over here. So I'm trying to put it on, you know, so where you guys can see, but I'm going to have to look in my mirror too. So I have a mirror right here. This is e.l.f. It's the Flawless Satin Foundation. So it's the satin finish and it is in the shade of Pearl. So that is the foundation that I'm currently wearing. But anyway, my favorite first book in a series is definitely Groupie. That series is a reverse harem about a girl who meets, she's pretty much lost everyone and everything in her life, and she happens to meet this band of rock stars, these 5 guys in this band, and they become her harem. I love the series. I absolutely adore the series. I am totally obsessed with the series. It will probably always be a favorite of mine. I absolutely adore it so much. Okay, next thing I do is I skip powder because my face is so dry. So I totally skip the powder. I used to wear it, but now I don't. But I will answer the question. This is pick your favorite book in a series, and mine is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I like it the best because this is the book that really showcases their romance. It really showcases their romance in the series, and I absolutely adore this book. When I read the first book in the series, I was thinking, you know, oh, this was how it's going to go. And then it kind of totally takes a different turn, which I very much enjoyed. The next one is Primer, and this says pick a book that left a lasting impression on you. And the only primer that I use is for my eyes. So this is one that I've been using. It's by Ulta Beauty, and it's a matte eye primer. So I just put this on my eyelids before I put on eyeshadow to hopefully, it's still, you know, when I wear it all day, it will eventually crease, but it definitely doesn't crease as fast when I have primer on there. So always try to make sure, remember to put the primer on, and really a little bit goes a long way. So, and the book that left a lasting impression on me is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this book is about a girl and a guy. They have been high school sweethearts, and they get married and they're living their life and they're completely in love, and then something happens to him. He's going somewhere and his plane goes down and he is missing. They cannot find him. They can't find his body. And he is presumed dead. And she, of course, she is heartbroken over this, and it takes her a really long time to, you know, try to overcome her grief from losing her husband. And then she eventually moves back home to be near her family because she has been wanting to settle down because they kind of lived in a very adventurous life. And when she goes back home to live with her family and kind of run, I think their family had a bookstore, she meets a guy that she also knew in high school, and they have romance. And then they fall in love with each other and they become engaged, and then her husband that they thought was dead comes back. So she has to choose who she's going to be with. And I just love this book. For one, I love love triangle because, you know, it just kind of keeps you in that suspense. And I think it's done really well when you can't really decide as a reader who you want her to be with, because, you know, both of them have very good qualities. And so that was very intriguing in itself, was because it was a love triangle. It really dealt with some heavy topics, and I saved some quotes from that book. I'm going to read them to you. These are quotes from One True Loves. You start to understand that grief is chronic, that it's more about remission and relapse than it is about a cure. What that means to you is that you can't simply wait for it to be over. You have to move through it like swimming in an undertow. I have dealt with grief a lot in my life, and these just really resonated with me, to my soul. Another quote from the book is, I just wasn't the same person at 30 that I was at 20. That is a huge thing, especially because, you know, people say, oh, you've changed, but it's like, yes, I want to change. I want to change. You know, you're constantly evolving as a person, and you don't want to be the same person that you were 10 years ago. You know, you want to become a better person, and change is not always a bad thing. Another quote is, the next quote is just comedy. So it just made me laugh. she's at her guy's house, and she goes to pull the butter out from his fridge because they're cooking. And she says, she pulls his butter out and she laughs at him. She says, "Land O'Lakes? What are we, Bill and Melinda Gates? I buy store brand butter. The name on my butter is exactly equal to the name of the store I bought it from." I just had to save that one because it just made me laugh. And then the last quote that I say from that book is, "Do you ever get over loss? Or do you just find a box within yourself big enough to hold it in? Do you just stuff it in there, push it down, and snap the lid on it? Do you just work every day to keep the box shut?" That just, oh, I understand it to my soul, because I completely understand where she's coming from. And, you know, I don't know, those quotes in that book just totally resonated with me, and I've never forgotten about it, obviously. And so yeah, that would probably be the book with the biggest lasting impression on me. Next question is eyebrows. Pick a book you think everyone should read. And I picked a series because you can't just read one of the books, you have to read all three in the series. And that is the Grip series by Kennedy Ryan. I read this 2 months ago, I think. And oh my goodness, I completely fell in love with Grip and Bristol from the series. So Grip is an aspiring artist. He wants to become a rapper. He meets Bristol's brother. Yeah, he meets Bristol's brother, Reeson, when they're in like this music school. And then he meets Bristol when she comes to visit her brother. And they completely fall for each other until this misunderstanding happens. But then that's kind of like the first book. And then the second book revolves around where he is just constantly trying to pursue her because he is infatuated with her. He's completely taken with her. And she wants to be with him. She's just has grown up not really trusting in men, and she doesn't really want to trust that, you know, she kind of has to convince herself that love is real. And then it just continues on in their story, and I just absolutely adored their story. I loved the romance, of course, but I also love the knowledge that you gain from the series. There's things I didn't even understand, you know, didn't really know until I read the series about what Black people go through. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of it because I'm white, I'm privileged just because I'm white. And it was a big eye opener for sure. And I loved the songs that Grip wrote. The songs and his wedding vows to Bristol. Oh my gosh. Oh, anyway, enough gushing. But I really don't have an eyebrow pencil because I've just started recently doing my eyebrows. So I just use this color from this palette. This was a palette that was sent to me. Splash. LA Splash. I guess it's LA Splash. LA Splash Cosmetics. So I just kind of use something that's similar to my hair color. Sometimes I even kind of go in but mix these up a little bit. And then I just take this brush. I'm gonna have to get real precise here, guys. So that was a little bit dark. I just kind of take this brush and run it along my natural eyebrow. Sorry, it's really hard to speak and do this at the same time. I don't do really anything fancy. I just kind of go where my eyebrow is anyway, and it just kind of defines them a little bit. So that is all I do for eyebrows. I usually don't wear concealer, but there is a concealer question, so I'll go ahead and answer it. Pick some characters you wish didn't exist, and I would say Tamlin from A Court of Thorns and Roses and Caleb from A Longshot by Kennedy Ryan. Those are just kind of two despicable characters that, yes, they provide, you know, they're part of the story, but how they treat people is despicable. Eyeshadow, I just mainly go with what I want to wear that day. I have these 3 palettes. This is a CoverGirl palette, and these 2 are the Revolution, Makeup Revolution. And here lately, I've just been doing, well, let's go with a green look. I haven't done green in a while. And I just totally throw this together. I totally just throw some colors together. As you can tell, my 3-year-old got hold of my palette, so it's a little bit messed up. Let's see. Sometimes I will put tape. I will tape here, and so it leaves a very stark line. But I'm out of tape because my 3-year-old got it, and then my dog got it, so it's totally destroyed. But I'm just going to put some, I'm going to go in with this really dark green. I like to put the dark, it's not really showing if it's dark, it is in real life. Or actually I might go in with this green. Anyway, I'm going in with a dark green on. I like to put, I kind of just put it on there. Since I have hooded eyes, when I close my eyes, see, when I have my eyes open, you can't even see my lid, especially this eye, because it tends to droop. If I didn't have a hooded eye, you would be able to see the lid, and I wouldn't have to put the eyeshadow up as far, but it is what it is. So I just kind of have to do that. And it looks really rough at first because, you know, I haven't blended it yet. So I just kind of put the dark color in the corner, the outer corner. It's super hard for me to get it to match on both sides because one side droops lower than the other. So even if I get it perfectly matched, it still won't look like that because of the droop. Okay, so for eyeshadow, it's pick a book with your favorite colors on the cover. And I picked Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've never read this book, but I think it's a beautiful cover because it's purple and black, which are my 2 favorite colors. So I don't know if that's okay. I'm gonna go in with this shimmery green color, and if you know me, you know that I love shimmer, I love glitter. And I'm just kind of gonna go in the middle with it and blend it into that dark green. I hope you guys are able to see this. And I kind of like, also, since it's had that shimmery look to it, also just kind of put it over the dark because I'm blending it all in anyway. So just kind of blending that. And then I'm going to come in with, I don't know if I should do a lighter green on the corner or a gold. I really love gold and green together, so I think I'm going to do a gold. Like I say, I just I'm going to go with this really shiny gold right here. I just throw together some colors that I think looks nice. This one is amazing. I love the shimmer in it. It's so shiny. It doesn't pick up as well as on camera as it does in person, but it's beautiful. And I just kind of blend that into that middle color as well. That way it just kind of all blends together. I come in with this fluffier brush, and then I just kind of blend the, you know, like the edges of the shadow, just to where it looks not such a harsh line. Just kind of blend it. And if you see me doing anything, if, you know, I know I am still learning. If you see me doing anything incorrectly, or if you have better tips, please let me know. I am all the time trying to become better at putting on makeup. So this has just all been trial and error. So now I'm going to go in and do a little bit. Let's see, I have this little bitty brush. This little bitty on this end, so I'm going to come in with that gold and just kind of do it around your corner of your eye right there. I think that's pretty. And then I'm going to come in with the same brush that I did my eyebrows with. I'm going to come in with the dark green. And kind of do up under my bottom lashes. Kind of only halfway though, and then I kind of just taper it off right there. So that's that's my eyeshadow. And then the eyeliner is Pick a Dark and Mysterious Book. I really don't read dark books, but the darkest one I've ever read is with Visions of Red trilogy by Trisha Wolfe. This is a girl who is investigating a serial killer, and the serial killer is also stalking her as well. And it kind of got a little scary for me in some parts. So that was probably the darkest one I've ever read. Now with the eyeliner, I have been using this by Ulta Beauty. It's the micro felt tip liner. I'm thinking about trying another one of their eyeliners. I've been using this one, but I think that maybe I like another one. It works fine. But eyeliner is my trickiest makeup because my hooded eyes make it very, very, very difficult. So I'm not going to try to do anything too fancy today, just because it's super hard to get it right. It's so hard. It's easier when I have the tape on my eyes. So as you can see, I just kind of draw a line. All right, so that's just a little tiny flare on the end. That's all I'm going to do today because I don't feel like having to redo my makeup. And sometimes I have to do that. I'm sorry. It's super hard to talk when I'm doing this. Sometimes I mess up, then I have to wipe off that eye and redo it. And I'm not wanting to do that right now. So, and also when I'm putting on eyeliner, I try to get as close. Sometimes I even go into the eyelashes because I don't want there to be a gap. So let's see if I can match this eye up to my other one. That is close enough. This is like my most dreaded part of putting on makeup. And then for mascara, pick a long book. And the longest book I think I've read is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I think it's 700 to 800 pages, somewhere right there. It's kind of a long one. And that's the third book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And for mascara, I'm using the Ultimate Lashes by Ulta Beauty. It works really well. Mascara is on. Blush. I don't wear much blush because I already have a kind of red tone to my face, and sometimes I think the blush really brings that out. But I will go ahead and answer the question anyway. Pick a book with a cringe-worthy romance, and probably would have to be The Wild by Kay Webster, because it's pretty cringe-worthy. And yeah, pretty taboo. It is a father and daughter situation. So anyway, moving on. Highlighter, I don't really do highlighters. And let's see. For the highlighter, pick a book that brightens your day. It would be the Getting Lucky series by Meghan Quinn, because each of those books made me laugh out loud so many times. If you need a laugh, those books are hilarious. It follows 4 brothers that lives in this small town in Maine, and they've had a curse put on them that they wouldn't be able to find love until their minds matured. And so they each kind of like believe this. And the banter between the 4 brothers is hilarious. Oh my goodness. If you need a laugh, you need to pick up that series. You will not regret it. The last question is lipstick. And it says your favorite book kiss. And I would definitely have to choose The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, because it takes so long in the book for them to get to that point. So when you're at that point, you're like, oh, it's so swoon worthy. This is about a guy named Aiden. He is a football player, and he is totally and fully committed to his career. Like, nothing stands in his way. He doesn't waste any time. He commits everything to football. And his maid, or you know, the girl who keeps up his house and cooks his meals and all this, she's finally had enough of not being seen and appreciated, and she quits. And then he is begging her to come back to work for him again. And he also needs to marry her because his visa or green card or whatever is expiring, because he's from Canada and he needs to stay in the US to play football. And so he's trying to, you know, stay, and also she's forcing him to kind of open his eyes and appreciate what was there all along. And when he starts to open his eyes and see like what he had and what he has, you know, it's just, oh, it is one of my favorite all-time books. So definitely love that one. It's definitely super slow burn, but it is so worth it when they get there to the end. It's really worth it. For lipstick, I don't have a specific brand. My most worn lipstick is in my purse, which is in another room, but I do have this one. This is by Hard Candy. I love the colors that Hard Candy makes. This is the Syrup Kiss Lip Stain. This is in the color Decadent, so it's a purple color. I feel really odd because I'm not one that just typically wears like a nude lip color or even pink. I really like dark lipsticks, so let's go ahead and put it on. And really, I don't really like lipstick. I like the gloss better. The lipstick just feels too dry. And then so there it is. There is my makeup look. I know I don't do my makeup very well, but I completely enjoyed this makeup and book tag, showing you how I go do my makeup and talking about books. What more could a girl want? I should have made a cup of coffee and had coffee with it. That would have just been the icing on the cake. Let me know how you guys do your makeup, what makeup you like, or do this tag. Answer the questions, whatever you guys want to do, feel free. I tag anybody who wants to do this tag. If you have any makeup tips and tricks, I would love to hear them. Pretty much anything. I'm always looking for advice. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Have a great day. Bye.